Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Nerds on Culture with Stormybman for this Monday, February 2nd, 2026. This is a special Nerds where we're talking this evening about the best stand-up comedians. Part 1. And this is number 152 in the series of Nerds because we cover the culture. We're talking stand-up comedians tonight, and this was a show that was brainstormed by my brother and partner in crime, Drew Titan, because this is what we do here. We find ways to continue to enthrall you with being able to go over aspects of our culture, what has made our lives enriched through literature, through entertainment, through music, and etc. So with no further delay, let me introduce my partner in crime. We got Drew Titan in the building with us this evening. What's going on, bro? How you feel?
Salute, good brother. It's going to be a good show. To the youngins, we're going to take you back to where your favorite comedians today got their inspiration from. And your favorite comedians today will tell you where they got their what you call swag from and why the guys we're going to talk about this evening are inspirational. And actually, there are some stand-up comedians that we won't get to tonight, but we're going to stick to some core ones today. So enjoy.
Yeah, the core that you selected, I find no problem with. I probably would have selected the same ones because they are so embedded in our culture, man, in our everyday lives. Excuse me, I'm distracted. I think I see a spider. I have to watch out for them spiders, man. It's like shoot. But yeah, um, growing up, I'm from the era where they were listening to comedians on albums, and they play these X-rated albums at home, my parents and stuff, and it's so funny because it's a experience from days gone by, but anyone who lived that experience, and I know you still were a part of that generation too, so
Yes.
to sneak and listen to your folks' records, it's like,
Bro.
man, we thought, oh my goodness, it was so entertaining to us, even if you're too young. Because what's really funny is this: you get in trouble for listening to your daddy's records or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But when they had company over and told you to go sit your ass downstairs in the basement or upstairs in the bedroom or whatever, they'd be playing these records and talking just like the people on the records and everything. So it's like you're still getting the experience all together, right?
Hey, listen. Let me hit this button. You're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about.
You got to wash your ass.
Shout out to Red Fox.
Yes, sir.
Everyone had, if you were black, you had that album in your crib. I'm telling. Do you remember the? Do you remember the album cover to that?
Yeah, man. Dude, do you remember the album cover to Richard Pryor's That Nigga Crazy?
Yeah. Yo.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, this is what would take you back, man. And man, my uncle and my dad, they used to sit up and they were drinking Schlitz.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Schlitz malt liquor. Now, malt liquor in the black community. Black Dynamite made a whole movie joking about that stuff.
Yes.
But Black Dynamite talked about this, man. Malt liquor in the black community, man. Why they don't sell malt liquor in the white communities?
And there's the movie right there. So now people don't know what you just said, but there's the movie. It's like, why are these things sold in our community and not theirs? Well, they're trying to shrink something. You won't be the big boys on the block anymore.
Not only that malt, so-called whatever that is in there, because I never drank it, but I'm going to tell you something. It'll have you acting a little bit special. Huh?
Yo, isn't that crazy? Because you know what? Growing up, I'm like, all right, I had uncle, my pops ain't drink, but I had uncles that drank and, they partake in that stuff. But when malt liquor came out, I'm like, okay, it's a 40 ounce, but how are people this drunk off of beer? I had an uncle that used to get drunk, but he'd be like literally drinking half of the afternoon into the evening before he got buzzed. But when malt liquor came out, bro,
dude,
it was like,
how
these people?
Listen, check this out. This is a great segue because we're talking about comedians, and we just got on the malt liquor thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Tommy Davidson's stand-up special? And he talked about malt liquor.
Yes, I do.
He said in his stand-up, he was like, man, why do black folks gotta have the crazy commercials for the alcohol? And then he said, like, the white folks, when they have their commercials, they have a nice jingle and they singing and they all suave. He's like, here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer will pour. You know what I'm saying? Talking about low and brow, right?
Gotta be
And
low
then
and
he
brow.
Yeah. Then he say in the black commercials, it's like, look out for the bull, and the people running for their life.
Yeah,
and the
running
bull
for their
is
lives,
chasing
yeah.
them. It's like,
Man,
Tommy Davidson nailed it, bro. That was it right there.
wasn't that something?
He pointed that out. He was like, you know, remember, he was talking about the same thing like with McDonald's. You know, they show the white folks in the McDonald's commercial. It's like, you can have your break today, you know. And then he was like, when it's the black people, it's I got a taste for McDonald's. It's like, it's all.
Everything about us was different, man. Stormy, do you know?
Oh my
in
goodness.
Harlem, that was the first place I saw McDonald's. Literally, the sign said Mickey D's, because we named it Mickey D's.
I've never seen a Mickey D's sign,
brother.
Coming to America, you know.
It was McDowell's and Coming to America in
yeah.
Harlem.
Right.
I was walking down 125, up the block from the Apollo. There was a McDonald's there next to the State Building, and I did a double take. It says Mickey D's, but it's McDonald's. It is, but it said because we used to call it Mickey D's growing up. Like, yo, let's go to Mickey D's.
Right.
In Harlem, brother. The McDonald's says Mickey D's. And I said, yo, and this was decades ago. And I looked and I said, that's crazy. That means they listen to us. They respect what we do. Everything we do is special. Mickey D's.
Isn't that like against the copyright or something to make it like a Mickey D's? Because like I said, I've never seen it before. And I'll tell you something else. If you look now, it don't even say McDonald's no more. It's just the golden arches.
Yep.
They don't even use that word no more, really. They may have it on little, you know, parts of the paper box or something, but it's like the golden arches is what symbolic of what that is. But anyway, you know, again, talking about segues and that whole thing about Tommy Davidson, because he's a comedian, right? And he did that. And it's so memorable. It's like it makes us, it takes us back to exactly what we're saying. And Young Deezy is totally correct when he says Illin in Philly. That was the name of his routine when he did that special. And I forget what year that was, but that was in the early 90s, I think, when Tommy Davidson did that. But yeah, salute to him for that. But we're gonna get right on into the show, and we're gonna start off with one of these personalities.
Oh, they closed it. My bad. I'm sorry. They closed it.
They closed what?
After 34 years, that McDonald's closed down. It was on 134th Street, but there was one on 125, and they closed. I don't go down there a lot. It's not far, but I don't go down there a lot. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just Googled it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna kick things off where we will open up. And Drew had a wonderful idea about bringing this particular person into the conversation because it is someone that everybody needs to kind of check out when you talk about stand-up comedians. And that person will be none other than Lenny Bruce.
Now stop for a moment. Who in the chat knows who Lenny Bruce is? Anybody? Y'all might not know. It's okay. I didn't learn about this man until maybe the late 80s. There was no internet, but my OGs had to tell me who Lenny Bruce was. If realistically, we all in our community talk about Red Fox because he was edgy and vulgar, but this is the guy. This is the guy that censorship chased. It was him. Let me go to Wikipedia. 1950s, Bruce's roommate was comedian Buddy Hackett. Stormy, of course, you know who Buddy Hackett is.
Yes.
He used to promote Breyer's Ice Cream. I remember he had to deal with Breyer's Ice Cream. He used to talk about ice cream. And he appeared on a Patrice Munsell show from 57, 58, calling their comedy duo not ready for prime time players. 20 years after that, cast of Saturday Night Live used the same name. In 1957, Thomas introduced Bruce into the Slate Brothers nightclub, where he was fired the first night for what Variety headlined as blue material. This led to the theme of Bruce's first solo album, Berkeley-based fantasy record, The Sick Humor of Lenny Bruce, for which Thomas photographed the album cover. Thomas also photographed Bruce's other covers, acted as a cinematographer on abortive attempts to film their screenplays, and in 1989 wrote a memoir of their 10-year collaboration, Lenny Bruce, The Making of a Prophet. 2016, a biography of Frank. I'm saying all these names, but just try and follow the bouncer ball here. He released 2 albums of material on Fantasy Records, later accomplished and re-released the Lenny Bruce originals. Branded a sick comic, Bruce was essentially blacklisted from television. And when he did appear, thanks to sympathetic fans like Hugh Hefner and Steve Allen, it was with great concessions, the broadcast standards and practices, jokes that might offend, like the routine on the airplane glue sniffing teenagers, and that was one that was done was it was done live on the Steve Allen show. He worked with Elizabeth Taylor. A lot of his stuff was unscripted, but the man was vulgar. The man was vulgar and hard-edged, and he was spontaneous. And you got to understand, you might find some Lenny Bruce today, and it'll be normal based off of what we listen to. But you got to understand, in the 50s and 60s, they just didn't do things like that. You couldn't say tit on TV. You couldn't say bitch on TV. This guy was cutting edge. And in some places, I heard he actually left in handcuffs because of what he said on stage. All right. His last name is really Schneider. I think he's Jewish. This guy, some call him the godfather of hard edge comedy. Every comic knows who Richard Pryor knows who Lenny Bruce is, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence. All these guys knew who Lenny Bruce was. This was the guy. If you could find Lenny Bruce, matter of fact, he got some things on YouTube, and you have it queued up, right?
Yes, sir. Let me put this. I'm going to put the large nerds overlay over while we play this. Yeah. But here's a little excerpt of a piece of Lenny Bruce, you guys. Check this out.
Yep.
Are there any niggers here tonight? Can you turn on the house lights, please? And could the waiters and waitresses just stop serving just for a second? Yeah, and turn off the spot. Now, what did he say? Are there any niggers here tonight? I know there's one nigger here because I see him back there working. Let's see. There's 2 niggers. And between those 2 niggers sits a kike. And there's another kike. That's 2 kikes and 3 niggers. And there's a spick. Right? There's another spick. Ooh, there's a wop. There's a Polak. And a couple of grease balls. And there's 3 lace curtain Irish mix. And there's 1 hip, thick, hunky, funky boogie. Boogie, boogie. I got 3 kikes here. Do I hear 5 kikes? I got 5 kikes. Do I hear 6 spicks? I got 6 spicks. Do I hear 7 niggers? I got 7 niggers. Sold American. I've passed with 7 niggers, 6 spicks, 5 nicks, 4 kikes, 3 guineas, and 1 wop. You almost punched me out, didn't you? Well, I'm just trying to make a point, and that is that it's the suppression of the word that gives it the power, the violence, the viciousness. Dig. If President Kennedy would just go on television and say, I'd like to introduce you to all the niggers in my cabinet. And if he just say nigger, 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 every nigger he saw, boogie, 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 nigger, 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 till nigger didn't mean anything anymore, then you'd never be able to make some 6-year-old black kid cry because somebody called him a nigger in school.
That's Lenny Bruce, people.
Y'all awake yet? Y'all see why I put him on this list? Y'all see why I play with that word? Y'all see why there's a Monkey Tuesday tomorrow? Not Red Fox, not Richard Pryor, not Eddie Murphy. Lenny Bruce. This man was arrested getting off of stages. This man was blacklisted from television. This guy he started it all for censorship. The government got together and said, we got to do something about this because there's going to be guys trying to follow in his footsteps, man. We got to do something about this. And they did, but it's a fine line because then we're in America, censorship. And he was actually making a point. It was vulgar, but he was making a point. It wasn't just blindless comedy. Growing with Soul, salute to you. I see you, good brother. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. But y'all, a lot of y'all never heard of it. Now you gotta understand, it's still kind of shocking now. But this was the 60s. He said Kennedy, right? This was the 60s, y'all. The 60s he was doing this. Unheard of. You had to buy the album to hear that. This was never on TV. The only time you heard of him was when he was getting arrested. And you're like, well, what did he say? Got to buy the album. Lenny Bruce, ladies and gentlemen. Google him.
Just amazing, man. It's like, and again, a part of culture. When we talk about this, do you know, like, back in the early 70s, when we had some of our greatest sitcoms, the word nigger was spoken on TV like you would say hot hat.
Yeah.
They try to pretend now that, oh, that's taboo. But how could it be taboo when our present day culture is born of that?
Yeah.
Huh? It's born of the bias, the bigotry, the prejudice. Comedians came into prominence for turning the truth on its head and being able to joke about it and poke fun at it and everything, at the ignorance, at the aggression, at those who were being victimized. From all angles. Comedians managed to do their thing based off of this.
Mm-hmm.
Some better than others, some more stronger than others, the messages that they would send, and it was really that significant and impactful on our society.
Yeah.
Are there any other aspects of Bruce that you would like to mention according to the information that you had?
When did he, in reference to, legal problems, Bruce's desire to help his wife stop working listen to this, y'all. His desire to help his wife stop working as a stripper led him to pursue schemes designed to make as much money as possible. So he was in them streets, ladies and gentlemen. He was in them streets and he was in love with the stripper. The most notable was the Brother Matthias Foundation scam, which resulted in Bruce arrest in Miami, Florida in 1951 for impersonating a priest. Oh my God. He was soliciting donations for a leper colony in British Guyana, now Guyana. Okay, under the wow, this is crazy. He allegedly chartered he chartered the ministry with his name, and the name was it was known as invention, but possibly referred to the actual brother Matthias, who had befriended Babe Ruth at the Baltimore orphanage where Ruth had been confined as a child. So he was using people's name to build this ministry. This is bad. This is all bad. While posing as a laundryman, Bruce stole several priests' clergy shirts. This is out of a movie. And a clerical collar. He was acquitted because of the legality of the New York State Chartered Foundation, the actual existence of the Guyana leper colony, and the local clergy's inability to expose him as an imposter. Later, in his autobiography, How to Talk Dirty and Influence People, that's literally a book. How to Talk Dirty and Influence People. Sounds like a lot of YouTubers, right?
Exactly. I was just thinking that.
Bruce said, this is crazy. We could do a show with this guy alone.
Right?
Bruce said that he had made about 8,000 in 3 weeks, sending 2,500 to the leper colony and keeping the rest. Now, up here they have obscenity arrest. I told you this man has been arrested several times. Let me just give you an example. 1961, October 4th, Bruce was arrested for obscenity at a jazz workshop in San Francisco, where he had used the word cocksucker and said that to its preposition, come as a verb, that the sexual context of come was so common that it bore no weight, and that if someone hearing it became upset, he probably can't come. Although the jury acquitted him, he went to jail for this. There was a charge. Okay, although the jury acquitted him, other law enforcement agencies began monitoring his appearances, resulting in frequent arrests under obscenity charges. I'm telling you, if one wasn't done, because I haven't checked, there need to be a movie or a documentary about him. This guy set the standard. He forced what's the FCC that Howard Stern was fighting with all these times before he went to satellite radio. He was on K-Rock out here in New York. Every time they would buzz him for something, he wasn't even cursing, but he was forcing the envelope. He wasn't being profane,
Right.
but he was walking that line where people were listening to him like, what? I remember I was listening to him one morning, and they just stopped the show, and it was only 10:30. We said, what happened to Howard? The next day, we in the squad car, and then he gets on there, and he was screaming and hollering, but he wasn't cursing. And he was like, yeah, the FCC, they stopped my show. I didn't even know they stopped it. I was being aired on the West Coast, but people in New York were calling their relatives in Idaho, talking about that Howard get off the air. What happened? I said, yo, they cut him at 10:30.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh, he didn't know because he kept doing the show. But in New York, on the East Coast, New York, New Jersey, Philly, up and down the East Coast, they cut it off. And that's part of the reason why he went to satellite radio. But he was the first official shock jock. But understand, ladies and gentlemen, it all came from this guy. Howard Stern was the first shock jock to force the envelope. But when it came to stand up, it was Lenny Bruce. In the 60s, the 50s and 60s. He was also a writer, and I read earlier, he was blacklisted from television, and he's as white as they come. But they said, nah, this guy's too hard-edged. We can't deal with him. But realistically, this guy's a bit of a legend.
Yeah.
Lenny
That
Bruce.
was amazing, man, that the impact that he had. And some of that information that you dropped, I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's wild. He's been arrested several times. And man, come on. I think he might have messed around and invented the FCC. They might have started the FCC because of him.
Because of him. Yeah.
Yep. They were doing it to musicians soon after. The Who, they couldn't perform in certain places because he was getting arrested. Val Kilmer played the hell out of that role. You ever saw that movie, The Who?
No,
With
I
Val
didn't.
Kilmer?
I did not see that.
I forget the name of the lead singer of The Who, but Stormy, he looks just like him. Val Kilmer became him. And I watched that film. It's creepy. Hold on, let me pull it up for a minute. The Who. That's another show, Stormy. Movies about musicians. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was The Doors.
I'm sorry, you're right. It's The Doors. I'm bugging. It was The Doors.
Yeah, but I still haven't seen it. I haven't seen The Doors, but
It's The
I'm
Doors.
aware that Val Kilmer played that
Hey,
role.
bro. Jim Morrison. Val Kilmer was Jim Morrison. It was creepy. It was creepy as hell because there's a famous picture that Jim Morrison took, and Val Kilmer retook that picture. This was before AI and all this other stuff. It was legitimately him. I said, man, but goodness, man. And Jim Morrison in certain cities was getting arrested for performing certain songs and getting escorted off the stage in handcuffs. Yeah. I got that song on my phone. Break on through.
I recorded.
To the other
I put
side.
it down.
Yeah. So I think Lenny Bruce messed around. He may have been the start of the FCC. The FCC probably was invented because of him. Let me Google that. FCC origins. FCC origins. Oh, they started in, let me see, it was established for Communications Act of 1934, Federal Radio Commissions Act from 1927-34. It had an original purpose. The efficient communication services available to all U.S. people, including the national defense of safety. Okay, evolution. The act expanded the scope of previous regulations to include emerging technologies, consolidating authority over radio, telegraph, and telephone services. So they started monitoring what was said over the air. And yup, started in 1934. But guys like Lenny Bruce made their jobs very difficult. And Howard Stern sparked off all of this. And if y'all remember Star and Buck Wild in New York, Star is on YouTube now. Star's on YouTube. Star and Buck Wild used to listen to them. You know, he was a rival of Howard Stern, but he was on urban radio. And I remember the infamous when Aaliyah died in the plane crash and he made a joke. And Miss Jones cussed him out live on air. I said, man, did they set that up? And he was suspended, but come to find out that was his idea to suspend him. And it was crazy. It was Star was really forced the envelope on urban radio he did. But all of that stuff. And matter of fact, Star used to make reference to Lenny Bruce. I was shocked when he said his name because I'm thinking sometimes, you know, I'm involved in the community, but I also know things outside of the community. And Star, he said, man, look, I'm a rocker from the 80s. He listened to rock music. So I'm like, okay, he's involved in the urban community because, I mean, he's black, he's mixed, he's white and black, but it makes money, but he don't really give a damn about this shit. He's there for the money and he was damn good at it. So, yeah, he knew Lenny Bruce and I'm listening to him one morning. I said, oh shit. You know, so shout out to Star, Strange Thoughts and Revelations. I used to listen to him every morning. And shout out to Howard Stern too. Yeah. Make that FCC work. You can't stop anything now because satellite radio's here. You know, and if y'all appreciate the content, you know, I pay for satellite. I got Howard Stern is on 100 and 101, and when I have a long drive, I turn it on. He's funny. I don't care what anyone says. He's been on the radio damn near 45 years. He's funny. I don't care. Shout out to Lenny Bruce.
Yeah, we you know, we have a lot of history to go along with comedians, and it's so interesting because, like, the artists that we're featuring this evening, they're males, but they're females. And in fact, maybe when we come back with the next part, we can kind of like gear that toward them to give them the shine too, because even going back, you know, I discovered this music station, Drew and Chat, that plays X-rated music.
What is that?
And I'll tell you off the show, off the air, because we do a show on it, you know. But yeah, and let me tell you something, bro. Songs that, and I'm talking about like from the 50s and stuff like that, man. You would not think.
No. I you know, when I first heard Clarence Carter Uncut, I said, this was a real song, wasn't it?
Dude, they got, and there were women who sang these songs, bro. And they sang, like, you think Lil Kim and them was Nicki Minaj and them, they ain't got nothing on these women. And the women can sing too, bro. Sing, not rapping.
Listen to some of those blues songs. I know, I heard some of them.
My goodness, bro.
You won't know when you're a kid, you're not paying attention, but then you grow up, you're like, is she talking about back shots? Yeah, she is.
Exactly.
Lord, my gut hurt. This girl came through, took that log, and I had to make up some collard green stew. And you're like, what is she going with this? Yeah.
You got to put it all the way inside if you want me to ride. All kinds of stuff, man.
Yo, Millie Jackson. Thank you, DP Rocker. Millie Jackson. She had a whole show where she was going through the crowd grabbing men's junk. I was like, what is this? Hey, bro.
No, Jamal Davis over there on Rumble. Salute to you. This was not subliminal, brother. This was not subliminal.
They were intentional with that.
They were saying it. They were saying the words. They were saying the slangs. I was like, I couldn't believe I found the station, bro. And last year is when I found it. And we gotta do a show on it. It's funny because I didn't want to mention it until I had a chance to. And this show kind of brings it. You see how when we do content, it just brings more. And this is like, listen, what's so great about what we do here? This is culture. This is a part of you and I and our families, our people. It's like, and I ain't talking about just Black Americans. You know, it's like, this is the real deal.
Yeah, we got to do that show.
Yeah,
definitely.
People want to be out there and do this stuff, this foolishness, talking about the improper stuff and trolling and all of that. But anyway, let's move on to the next artist here.
Ah, my guy.
This gentleman here.
He's one of the GOATs.
Oh, my goodness, man. He and Richard Pryor were like two sides of a same coin, man. Just one was light and one was dark. Huh?
Yep.
Amazing artist here. George Carlin, man.
For those of you young cats that don't know who George Carlin is, everybody in the chat follows BFTB. He's the man in the beginning of his video sometimes that says, tell us in your own words. Do you really have your own words? That's George Carlin, y'all.
Yep.
This guy was a genius in how he performed. He didn't stutter. There were no mistakes. As a matter of fact, you know where I got that car fire thing from? Him. You know why? One of his stand-ups, he had a heckler. And he burnt that dude so quick. And you know how fast he be talking, right?
Right.
And at the end, he said, F you, I hope your kids die in a fucking car fire. And I fell out my seat. So when I was talking to Sugar Hill that day, Stormy, it just rolled off my tongue. I didn't mean to jack his style. It just rolled off. I said, man, you know, when I figured you was in cahoots with Tyson Fury, I said, I hope both of y'all die in a car fire. It was like George Carlin spoke through me. That's where I got it from, this guy. Oh, yeah.
Some amazing stuff there, man, talking about this gentleman here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. George Carlin, born George Dennis Patrick Carlin, May 12, 1937 to June 22nd, 2008. He passed away at the age of 71. He was an American stand-up comedian, social critic, actor, and author. He was known for his dark comedy and reflections on politics, English, psychology, religion, and taboo subjects. That's perfectly describing him. Perfectly. Carlin was a frequent performer and guest host on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, and hosted the first episode of Saturday Night Live in 1975. The first of his 14 stand-up comedy specials for HBO was filmed in 1977, broadcast as George Carlin at the USC. From the late 80s onward, Carlin's routines focused on social cultural criticism of American society. He often commented on political issues and satirized American culture. His 7 dirty words routine was central to the 1978 United States Supreme Court case FCC versus Pacifica Foundation, in which a 5-4 decision affirmed the government's power to censor indecent material on public airwaves. Carlin released his first solo album, Takeoffs and Put-Ons, in 1966. He won 5 Grammys for Best Comedy Album for FM and AM in 1972, Jammin' in New York, 1992, Brain Droppings, 2001, Napalm and Silly Putty, 2002, and It's Bad For You, 2008. The lattermost was his final comedy special, filmed in less than 4 months before his death from cardiac failure.
Yeah.
This gentleman here was so significant in the world of stand-up and everything. And I'll play this clip from George, but it doesn't do justice simply because we can't go too long with these. So we're going to play this little clip from George Carlin.
Some people are really fucking stupid. Did you ever notice that? How many really stupid people you run into during the day? God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around. Carry a little pad and pencil with you. You wind up with 30 or 40 names by the end of the day. Look at it this way. Think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupider than that. And it doesn't take you very long to spot one of them, does it? Take you about 8 seconds. You'll be listening to some guy, you say, this guy is fucking stupid. Then there are some people, they're not stupid, they're full of shit. That doesn't take very long to spot either, does it? Take you about the same amount of time. You'll be listening to some guy and say, well, he's fairly intelligent. He's full of shit. Then there are some people, they're not stupid, they're not full of shit, they're fucking nuts. Dan Quayle is all three.
Wow.
Stupid, full of shit, and fucking nuts.
That's George Carlin, people.
That guy was a genius, man. That guy was a genius. So listen, man, it's I know this new style of comedy. Let me say this, and I say this respectfully. I'm not a Kevin Hart guy. And I say this respectfully. I guess he's good for casting. I sat through a portion of his stand-up, and all I got from him was what I call lazy comedy. A lot of funny faces. It's sort of, to me, it was equivalent to a Carrot Top. It was more slapstick, but in this lazy era, it's easy to entertain people with a low IQ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to watching comedy where it makes you think. I want to know what the political realm is, and if I don't like it, a comic should be able to come on and point out a fact and make fun of it on both ends. Okay, George Carlin was that guy. He was that type of guy. Richard Pryor was vulgar, but he hit on key points. He talked about his drug use and everything like that. And then you have the other side of the spectrum, where you have a guy like Bill Cosby, who never cussed, but that man was funny as hell. And what did he talk about? Family structure, things that black people are able to identify with. Now you had Bill Cosby's version of it, and then you had Eddie Murphy telling his version of it. One is profane, one is not. You understand what I'm saying? You have to understand. You have to, for a comic, you have to trigger me. And this is all relevant to what we're talking about. Well, some of y'all are my age. Who remembers when Def Jam comedy first came out? A portion of the reason why we loved it was because it was us. It was the black community. We had something, and it catered to the hip hop community, and we appreciated it. Russell Simmons, we appreciated it. Fine Guillotine is such an AI comedian. People tell me, I don't know. There were some good comedians that came through Def Jam comedy, but there were some guys that weren't even funny. They were just vulgar. They're talking about absurd sex and just it was like So when it first came out, I think it came on Friday nights or Saturday nights at 9 or 10 on HBO, and I'd be sitting in the living room watching it with my mother, and you'll have an educated comedian come out, and he's funny, but it's HBO, so you can F-bomb a little bit. And then you had the dude coming in and just telling a bunch of dick and fart jokes, and it's like, come on, bro. Where's the joke in that? It's shocking, but once you get past the shock, what you got? It has to be funny. All right. And a lot of comedians, Chris Tucker, I want to say the spotlight got shined on him on that show. What jumped out about him, he had a funny voice and he was telling stories, like hood stories. So it was funny. So when I look at a guy like Kevin Hart, it just doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't do it for me. But I get why people think he's funny. He's a short guy. He's loud. He makes these funny faces. And to me, that doesn't get me. I want to be able to sit back and have someone tell a joke and say, oh man, I got that. A lot of double entendres. You understand? I get it. Or what y'all call a bar. You understand? So, but that's just me. But I get why y'all like Kevin Hart.
Or even be a great storyteller.
Right.
You know,
right.
to tell a story of an incident, happening, circumstance that can take a person from a point A to point B and make them live the experience.
Right.
And find the relatable humor in it all.
Yes.
You know, that is a very important talent that comes through with the best of the comedians. Just like when we were just playing George just then, when he said that, you know, you could be listening to a guy and you could say, that guy is full of shit. You know, it's like, you know, but it's true. You've actually sat up and said that, you know, about somebody. Somebody out there might be saying it about us. You know what I'm saying? It's it's something relatable, you know, and when it's sincere and factual and you can make someone be relatable to it and then find the humor in it as well, that's your success. It's what elevates you in that stratosphere. And speaking of that elevation and stratosphere, we got another one that I like to bring into the conversation here.
Yep.
The Cos. Man, let me tell you something. Before the elites decided to destroy his reputation, this gentleman here had a way with being able to not only exhibit that which is funny about our lives socially, family wise, in the workplace or whatever, but he did it with a certain amount of intelligence and made you see something from a particular point of view that you may not have even considered.
Right.
And all the while, never being profane.
Right.
Never being profane. Bill Cosby, who was born William Henry Cosby Jr., July 12, 1937. He's age 88 right now. Began his career as a stand-up comic at the Hungry nightclub in San Francisco in 1961 and primarily performed observational comedy in a controversial style. He released numerous stand-up specials, starting with Bill Cosby is a Very Funny Fellow, Right, in 1963, and starred in the comedy film Bill Cosby Himself in
great stand-up.
1983. That particular comedy, Bill Cosby Himself, is my favorite of his.
Mm-hmm.
The Cosby Show was born of that.
Born from that, yep.
And it is probably one of the best stand-ups where he was sitting down on stage. But when he began that particular act, Drew and Chat, he was dressed in a brown suit with a tie and a cream-colored shirt. When he began that routine, he sat there in front of the audience. He took his time. He played off of the people's response to the material. But by the time the show was ended, Drew, that tie he was wearing was halfway across his
like he got worn out.
Yes, exactly, man. It was an amazing thing, you know. But the best part of that was talking about his wife and kids.
Yeah.
That right there, I could listen to that all day, man, because somewhere in America, any black household can relate to what he's talking about there.
Oh man, you know what my favorite part of that whole show was, right? And as a kid, what year that came out?
83.
I was 8 years old, and trust me, we went to school talking about how funny that was. You know what every kid was able to relate to, right? That ass whooping that he spoke about.
Yep.
When he held it like a samurai warrior,
Uh-huh.
and said the beatings will now begin.
Yeah.
We laughed as kids, but we all went through that.
He said all the kids turned around.
Had the nerve to look surprised.
Like, all of a sudden now they're going to act like, who is this person that is changed into some type of demonic being to attack us? And he said, as she said, the beatings will now begin. The kids tried to run, and he said he played soccer goal.
He's the goalie.
Back
he said, I'm the goalie. My job is to kick him back into position.
Man, you talk about something that was hilarious.
Yo. Then he was like, then they going upstairs, and they won't shut up. They're like,
And mom say, you better shut up or I'll give you something to cry about.
He said she holds the broom like a samurai warrior. And she said she makes an announcement the beatings will now begin by saying, I have had enough.
No. Oh my goodness, man. If anybody wants to watch that, that is available on YouTube. Please check it out. It is some of the best comedy that you could ever sit down and watch.
Now,
you can watch it with your kids, your children. Sit down, enjoy that, man. Everybody is gonna find something in that
now
to really enjoy.
When I rewatched it when I got older, guess what I related to?
What's
when
that?
She made him get up to make breakfast.
Oh yeah,
bro. That was the part my pops was laughing at.
Dude,
when I got
remember
older,
what he
I
said? He fed them what he fed them, right?
Yep.
But he said, now how do the kids sit there and function? They turn the music up real loud on the radio, and they do, and they're shaking and vibrating and everything to the music, eating.
Yes.
He said, bro, he just sat there and looked at them like,
bro. And then he said, those kids lied on me. We asked for eight bacon and eggs, and dad gave us this grapefruit and chocolate cake. And he said, he came downstairs and sent me to my room, which is where I wanted to be in the first place. Reverse psychology. And that was the joke.
Dude, when he was talking about his son, raising his son, he said, like, you teach him, he's a little boy, you teach him how to be tough and rough. He's like, here, hold this ball, run to me, and bam, you knock him down and you pick him back up. And he say, oh, you got to grunt. And he say, and you teach him how to play, and he goes to high school and he plays, and then he goes away to college and he's playing and he's running for touchdowns, he's catching the ball, he's doing all these fine things, and he's going, and he's like, that's my son. And he goes over there and on the sidelines when the camera's on him, he says, hi, Mom. Oh my goodness.
It's like, what the fuck?
Oh. Now, Drew, you know that is funny as hell because
That's
it is
funny.
True. It is true.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, man.
That's funny as hell. Bill Cosby himself, 1983. That's one of my favorite stand-ups.
Yeah,
one of my favorite ones.
I got this one clip that I'm going to play of Bill. Check this out, you guys. This is a short one where Bill is talking about Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeffrey on the airport.
Little Jeffrey.
Little Jeffrey.
This was also very funny.
Yeah.
I will never forget a mother age 33. Got on the plane. Very attractive looking woman. Well built, lovely face, hair put up in the bun, sprayed heavily. Earrings looking very upper middle income, gold on the fingers. And she had with her little Jeffrey. Jeffrey is 4 years old.
4 years old.
I know that because Jeffrey kept walking around the plane. Just anybody, I'm 4 years old. I'm 4 years old. I was 3, but now I'm 4 years old. Little Jeffrey. I remember his name not because he said to me, I'm 4 years old, but because Jeffrey's mother said his name all 2,500 miles of the trip. Nobody on first class could sleep because the woman, Jeffrey, will you get down? Jeffrey, don't do that. Jeffrey, come over here. Oh, look at what you've done, Jeffrey. You kicked him. Jeffrey, will you please, Jeffrey? Put your jacket. Don't do that, Jeffrey. And Jeffrey would stand up in the chair and look at the little man behind her. And nobody could sleep. Just Jeffrey coming. Then Jeffrey would get out. She'd down. Jeffrey run around with chocolate on his hand. Put it on your trousers. I'm 4 years old. Jeffrey, get over. Don't you see what you've done to the man? Jeffrey, don't do. Jeffrey, sit down. Jeffrey, do. And she'd sit him down higher and higher. She'd lift him and hold him and let him drop. Jeffrey. And Jeffrey, be quiet. And then Jeffrey would cough. People began to hate Jeffrey. One gentleman invited Jeffrey into the men's room to play with the blue water.
Ew.
Emotionally, people began to fear Jeffrey, and nobody slept. 5 minutes before the plane landed, Jeffrey fell asleep.
Uh-huh.
And grown people in first class took great delight as they walked out in waking Jeffrey up. Goodbye, Jeffrey. And they laugh, sounding like Renfield. And Jeffrey's mother, hair mangled and just hanging by the ball that was sprayed. And the mascara had run, and the lines caused by her anger gone deeper into her face. She looked much older. She looked tired. She picked Jeffrey up. Jeffrey's little limp, sleeping body twitched. She carried him off. There at the end of the runway, at the end of the ramp, rather, was Jeffrey's father, smiling, well-tanned, little red, white, and blue checkered golf pants on, short-sleeved shirt. And Jeffrey's mother handed Jeffrey to the father and punched him dead in the face. We don't know why. Jeffrey's such a lovely child.
Yo, that's great.
Isn't that funny, man?
That's great. That's great. Bill Cosby himself, 1983.
Yeah. And like I said, that's on YouTube. You guys can find that on YouTube. It is very funny, man. It was.
That's funny, man. I remember that. The grown folks was being petty on the way out.
Yeah, right. They was getting him back.
Yep. 5 minutes before you land, he done terrorized the whole goddamn airplane. Oh man. Yes, sir. Who
Well,
else we
we'll
got
move
next?
right along to the next one.
Uh-huh.
Got someone very familiar to you all. And this gentleman right here.
There it is. The infamous red suit.
Yeah, you guys
Red
know
suit.
that this man, he was the next man up after Richard Pryor.
Yes.
And had a certain way. But what was great was he came into our homes every weekend with Saturday Night Live when he appeared on that show. And he had a host of characters that he would play on Saturday Night Live. He would do Stevie Wonder. He would do James Brown, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, and famously Buckwheat.
Oh,
Dude,
God.
when Eddie Murphy did Buckwheat on Saturday Night Live, people loved it. And then he had Gumby that he did.
I am Gumby, damn it.
But Buckwheat,
Oh,
do you remember when Buckwheat got shot?
Buckwheat. Oh, I'm shot, bro.
Brought to
You know
you
why they
by
did that,
Mutual
right?
Life. It's like dun 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 dun. Dude was like, "I'm Ted Koppel," and we just had it.
Do you know why they
We
did
just had
that?
a
Though?
report that, famous
They
little
did that
rascal.
because you remember Dynasty? No,
Yeah.
Dallas. When JR
Yeah.
got shot, that was a big
JR
deal.
got
Who shot
shot.
JR?
Yeah.
They did Who Shot Buckwheat. Oh man, that was hilarious. Who
That
shot
went on
Buckwheat?
for a few weeks, remember?
Yeah.
Because they played the hell out of that, man. It was like Buckwheat got shot. And he came out there, he was like, hey, what'd he say? I don't smoke no cigarettes or something. And the dude came and said, Mr. Wheat. He said, yes. He said, pow, he shot him. He said, oh, I'm shot.
Yo, he
Dude, we laughed about that at school for a couple
Yo.
of days.
Yo, wait a minute. When he did Buckwheat and they said Buckwheat has an album, Wookin' Panub in all the wrong places. Wookin' Panub.
No.
And then when he went to sing Betty Davis Eyes, they just put a bunch of question marks at the bottom.
Yeah.
But that big bobo, that big guy. Oh man, that was
And he would say, Ote.
okay. Do you know in the NBC studios right here in New York, they have wax figures there? Well, I haven't been there in a while, but last time I was there, you were on a tour, and last time I was there, which was years ago, they had the mannequin of Eddie Murphy with the Gumby outfit on, with that making the mad face.
Uh-huh.
I just cracked up, man. The young cats don't know why I found that so funny. Because they don't know. Eddie Murphy as Gumby. I am Gumby, damn it. That shit was funny, man. This guy, Eddie Murphy, and this stand-up right here, Eddie Murphy Delirious, if you haven't watched it, a lot of the jokes he talks about may be outdated, but you gotta understand, the things he spoke about in the 80s, this guy was vulgar, but he was funny with the vulgarity.
Right.
He was very funny. And one of the things that I remember highlighted from this stand-up was Aunt Bunny. And you know what, Stormy? I'm not going to ruin it for anybody. If you haven't seen it, just go watch it. When he talks about Aunt Bunny. Because what you found out was Eddie Murphy, a lot of his comedy was ad-lib, meaning it was off the top of his head.
Yeah.
He didn't write shit down. He just spoke about it. Now, there's two major stand-ups that he did. This was the first one, Delirious. The other one was Raw when he was in the purple leather suit. But go watch this one first. It's funny as hell. When he talks about Aunt Bunny, holy cow. I never laughed so hard. I had cotton balls flying out my mouth. Because you know why Eddie Murphy resonated with us? He was older than me, obviously, but he would kick jokes like the brothers used to do on the corner. He was on stage telling mama jokes, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was funny as hell.
This one clip I want to play of him, and like I said, I had to find condensed ones because we can't play too much of this stuff, right?
Right.
And that's very unfortunate, but this is Italians after they've seen the Rocky movies.
Oh.
Man, I was in the club, man. I stopped. I ain't dancing a lot because I just had a fight recently, and I said I ain't dancing. I went to clubs. You get into a lot. People get drunk, go to clubs and start fighting. I had a fight with an Italian dude right after around time Rocky came out. Italian, white people, period. Y'all go crazy after y'all see a Rocky movie because y'all believe that shit. Because the movies are so emotional and so real. You sit there and go like, hey, this is real. Yeah, and Stallone have y'all white people pumped, especially Italians. After Italians see Rocky, they come out the movie theater, they be like, Italians are funny people because they act like niggas. It's real funny. They do. They hold their dick more than us to be standing around with. Get the fuck out of here. It's right here, all right? What? Hey, fuck you, all right? Everything is a question, too. Hey, what am I, an asshole? What am I, a fucking jerk? Get the fuck out of here. It's right here, all right? After they see Rocky, they come out the theater charged. They be like, all right, Rocco! All right, Sly! Hey! All right, Rocco! Rocco! Go up, people standing on line and shit. Hey, Paisan, you going in to see Rocky right now? Yeah. Great fucking movie. Great. You don't like this one. He comes out, Sly comes out, he breaks his big fucking nigga's face. He busts it fucking wide open. Fucking Moonlight laying on the floor, fucked up. It's fucking great. I fucking love it, man. All right, Rocco! Hey, you know something? At the end of this picture now, just between you and I don't want to ruin the surprise, but Sly wins this one again. You know something? You know what I like about Stallone's movies? The realism, you know? Because, you know, that's the way you got to fucking treat those fucking moolies. They think that they can fucking push you around. There's your big hot shot. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit. That's what I like about Sly. He goes in, and the moolies are beating him, and he don't fucking go down. He's not fucking going down. He comes in, he cracks the fucking moolie's hole like this. He falls on the ground. That's what you know something? You can really do that. You can really fucking do that. You see that fucking big moolie yacht stand over there? You see that black guy over there at the line getting some candy? Yeah, all right. Now, he's about 6'5". I'm 5'2". I ain't no big guy, all right? But I'm Italian. Watch this. You watch this, all right?
Oh, this is good right here.
Hey, excuse me, brother. Hey, let me have a box of juicy fruits and let me have some bonbons. I think I'd have some bonbons there. And let me have some junior mints and give me another box of juicy fruits and niggas are gonna pay for it. Excuse me? You heard what I said, Moolie. Pay for my fucking candy. Or I'll kick your ass. Oh, you just saw Rocky. Look, little Italian white man. I enjoy Sylvester Stallone's movies too, but I'm waiting here to get some candy. I'm gonna go see a movie with my friend. Why don't you just go hop in your IROC Z28 and take your ass home?
That's what they drove.
I'll kick your fucking ass. Then they hear that Rocky music. Hour later, woo, 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 woo. He's not gonna make it. Big nigga named Abdul, his hand wrapped around his throat. And a box of juicy fruits rammed up his ass. He's not gonna make it.
Man, Eddie Murphy was something else.
Oh Lord, these guys was funny as hell.
And you know what? It's like and for most of us who are of a certain age, we've seen it so many times, but it's still funny, right? It's like that was Eddie Murphy when he was at his best, man. At his best.
The movies didn't do him much justice.
Not at all.
His stand-up comedy was unmatched at that time, man. He was heir to the throne. He was a fan. He was a fan of Red Fox. He was a fan of Richard Pryor. He was a fan of Bill Cosby. Actually, in Raw, he told the joke about how Bill called him.
Yep.
And asked him to tone it down. If y'all didn't see it, go watch it. When Bill Cosby called him, he saw imitating Bill Cosby. Bro.
Then he imitated Richard and said what Richard said about what Bill had to say.
Yeah. Oh, bro, don't ruin it. Y'all gotta see it. It's funny as hell. It's funny, man. Eddie Murphy was a genius, man. And so is Richard. And
we got to go ahead and jump right on into this one, man, because
let's go right into it.
This is like, we could call him the greatest. This is a clip on Richard talking about Jim Brown.
Oh, shit. Oh, Stormy.
Then finally, my old lady called Jim Brown up. She said, Jim gonna come over and tell you, fuck Jim Brown. I'll show Jim Brown. I'm the man. I don't give a fuck. Nobody afraid of Jim Brown here. And Jim was coming in the driveway. I got all nervous. Boom, jingling. Where's it? Jim Brown. Oh, shit. Let me get this motherfucker ain't gonna scare me. Let me get my pipe. Pipe said, come on, Rich. Me and you will show Jim. Don't worry about it. Shit, Jim, don't scare nobody. That's right, Rich. Jim come in the room. I started smoking. Hey, Jim. How you doing, bro? And Jim had psychology. Jim go, wanna go roller skating? Pipe. Maybe you wanna go for a ride? Jim say, what you gonna do? So, what do you mean? What you gonna do about that shit? What? I'm doing what I want to do. You know, I ain't afraid of you, you know. You ain't no movie star to me. I ain't scared of you, motherfucker. I'm your friend. What you gonna do? You gonna get well, or you gonna end our friendship? What you gonna do? The pipe said, don't listen. Oh, he trying to fuck with you, Rich. Jim, I am a man. There ain't no doubt about that. But what you gonna do? And Jim kept saying that to me all through the hall. What you gonna do? Leave me the fuck alone. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm getting the fuck away from you so I don't have to hear what you gonna do. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Now leave me the fuck alone. What you gonna do? So Jim almost got me to the hospital. But he had to go somewhere, like to home to eat. And I was in the room with the pipe, and the pipe said, hey, Rich, Jim's gone.
Bro, you know what I wanted you to play? The Spinks story.
Yeah,
When
but
he did the boxing.
yeah, but this was shorter.
Oh,
This-
right. Yeah, that was kind of long. But when he said, "What you gonna do with Freaky Diggy?"
Mhm.
Oh man, he told the boxing story. That was funny as hell, bro. What you gonna do?
Yeah,
This
man.
dude rich, boy. This dude rich, man. This guy's one of the goats, man. This guy's one of the goats. What you gonna do? Damn, that's funny. There's a few, those are the ones we could get to tonight. There's a few guys, and you know, there's some guys that came along later that I respect. You know, Cat Williams, I liked his stand-up. I like Bernie Mac, he was funny. I even appreciated Steve Harvey back when he had the unmatched hairline that he had. You know, Sinbad was pretty good. His stand-up was pretty good. He's another person that didn't use profane language, but he was pretty good. But every era has a comedian that stands out. You know, I saw y'all talking about Martin Lawrence in the chat. Martin Lawrence had a really good run. He had a really, really good run. Yeah, man. And we can do a part 2 to this show at any point, you know. So but this was good, man. Yeah, Robin Harris, gone too soon. He was funny as hell.
That's my man there,
Robin Harris, funny as hell, man.
Goodness.
Oh, Stormy, we got to talk about Harlem Nights, bro. Because that was an all-star cast, man. And shout out to Eddie Murphy because he made that happen. He brought everybody. There was a who's who in that film, and it became a cult classic. Eddie Murphy got 2 rock star films, man, that I appreciate him doing. It was Harlem Nights and Boomerang. Those 2 films that he did before The Nutty Professor.
We got Boomerang poster in our intro for this show.
Yeah, we sure do. Man, listen, man. Eddie Murphy, in between that, they put him in the Distinguished Gentleman. There's a racial thing behind that. But when we talk about Eddie Murphy, I'll dig into that personally. But Harlem Nights and Boomerang are Eddie Murphy's 2 best films. The Nutty Professor was actually, if y'all don't know, The Nutty Professor was actually a remake. I bet y'all didn't know that. Nutty Professor was a remake by what's his name that did the original? What's his name?
Mickey Rooney. No, Jerry Lewis.
No, Jerry Lewis. I'm sorry. Jerry Lewis did the original Nutty Professor. Jerry Lewis. Whom was also funny. Jerry Lewis was funny. You know, he was a goofy dude. But yeah, I had fun with this, bro. I had fun listening to that audio, man. I had fun with that. My gosh.
Yeah.
Detroit Sports says Arsenio Hall scene in Harlem Nights, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, you understand? I saw a lot of this stuff in the theaters. You thought you was gonna get one scene out of that? He was like, pap, 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 and he looked. Yo, Audemars on the floor. The whole theater fell out. We was like, yo. He was like, quick. Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna cook on that.
Remember when they was all shooting that quick? They was pow, 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 pow. And then the one guy was like, pow. And Arsenio was like, stop shooting that little shit. Stop. Don't you ever shoot that shit no more.
Yo. Damn it. Oh yeah, Jamal. Yeah, Coming to America was great. That was great. Golden Child, you know, Golden Child, Coming to America, Boomerang. Yeah. He got some bangers. He does. Yeah, but this was fun, brother. This was a fun show, man.
48 Hours in that bar scene.
Oh,
when he walked in there, there's a new sheriff in town. Yeah.
Yep. I think that was Eddie's first film with Nick Nolte.
Was.
His first film. It was damn good too. 48 Hours. That was good, man.
Final thoughts, man. So you can get out. You getting ready to do your pep, right?
No, but I have to go do something else actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a banger, man. We have fun doing this, man. And this is what the show's about. I would encourage y'all to follow us on Rumble, because when we do Nerds, there's gonna be a point in time where we're gonna have to cut the stream short on YouTube and segue over to Rumble so we could play clips that where YouTube will flag us for. Rumble gives us the flexibility. All right. Now, as far as the more the like adult content where we not being vulgar, but bringing it to you raw and unedited, I encourage y'all to follow us on Patreon also, because Stormy, I got to give you some information tomorrow, something that LaRon gave me in reference to doing live streams on Patreon too. So that I'm sorry, man. YouTube limits us, and we want to give y'all the best content possible. You know what I mean? So follow us on Patreon and Rumble. You know what I mean? So this was a great show, man, and it's fun when you're creative. Because I'll be damned, every time we do a show, we think of another 2 shows to do.
Yep, and we still haven't got through the long list of other shows. That
we'll never run out of content.
Pick out what we want to do, but we got lists of shows to do for you guys.
We got a bunch of stuff, man. So this is great, man. Salute to y'all, man. And we'll see you soon. Definitely. Can't wait to see what we do next week, brother. For real.
Absolutely. I want to say, and we just gonna get ready to head on out. Drew, if you can hang tight for just a couple minutes as we close out with the outro. But I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. For those of you who can do so, please share content on your other social media platforms and everything. Let people know what's happening over here, because this is a great show, you guys. We have fun. We bring up stuff. We have a little bit of history in there. We gave you guys some backgrounds on some of these artists. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to keep this. Someone said in the chat earlier about us helping the next generation learn about this. A little bit of history in here too. And we're just trying to do our best with that. Right. But I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace to everybody.